Hello, welcome back. It's character building day. Mork Borg. We're doing more character creation for Mork Borg. This is very much a basic version of D&D, if you ask me, with a lot of dark themes. Hence why we have the 3 books here in front of you. Anyway, I'm going to be doing the Wretched Royalty for today. I'm going to put up a poll. Feel free to take part in that poll. My suggestion is get your dice ready. You will need dice. I'm going to make you roll dice, people. That's right. You will actually have to do some work. So my suggestion is grab some food, some drink. Make sure you're comfortable. Get ready. And let's build a character and have as much fun as we possibly can with the process while learning how to do it. Because it can be a bit confusing, this book. Anyway, let's get started. Hi, welcome to How to RPG. My name is Fred Weller, and today I want to talk about Dungeons and Dragons. Oh, no, not really. Actually, no, I'm not. I could be talking about role-playing games. I'm actually talking about how to make a character for Mork Borg, and that is the Wretched Royalty. It is one of the classes that you can play in Mork Borg, and I thought it would be a good idea to actually go over the process of doing that. My suggestion is make sure you warm up your dice because I will be asking you to roll dice and I would like people to take part. This makes the whole process far more interesting. If people do not roll dice, I will do it, of course. That's the only way to deal with a live stream if nobody else is going to interact. But I would very much like you to take part. I will be tracking the chat, so those of you who are wanting to take part in that process certainly can. We usually start off, when I do this, with the name creation process. And I want to say hi, Fred Huber, who is a patron. Thank you for being here. And Prepare, Cook and Survive, thank you for being here. Now, Prepare, Cook and Survive is the person who actually sent me the book Mork Borg. And I have to thank you, Stuart, for doing so. So we always start with the name of the character. Fred Huber is trying to jump straight to abilities, but we're not doing that yet. Okay, so what is the character's name? Let's get that one done first, please. Okay, that gives me time, while you're figuring out a name for the character, that gives me time to get everything lined up, set up, and working correctly. And this is our character sheet. Now, this is a fillable character sheet. If you go down into the description of this video, you'll find a link that gives you access to it, as well as a character generator if you do not want to make a character and you just want to press a button and make one really fast. You can, absolutely, no problems. It's very hot in my office, so you'll hear bird noises and all sorts of things, because otherwise I will perish and die in my own office and in my own home. And I don't want to do that. so I need to open the door, and as many doors and windows as possible, otherwise I'm going to cook. And the hat is off because it's getting too warm. Too warm. All right, let's have a look and see what we have here as a name. So Fred Huber has already put in a name that I cannot pronounce. I'm not even going to try. I'll write it. If somebody can come up with a name that's not quite as difficult to pronounce, that'd be wonderful. Jaytetty. Yeah. This is one of my pet problems is when I'm a game master, the players like to create names that I cannot pronounce. I'm not suggesting that I'm prejudiced in any way and might actually make their character suffer more for doing that to me, but possibly. Anyway, if you go to page 53, that's page 53 of the core Mork Borg game book, this book here. Page 53 is where you'll find Wretched Royalty, the character class. Okay. Deposed, fed to English to Finnish translator. Oh my God. Really? Skip the Finnish. Anyway, I'm going to put in a description. What we do need to do is we actually have to roll for our silver, for our money. So hashtag, let's do that now. Roll 4d6 for money. Okay. Now you get more dice to roll with a Wretched Royalty. They have a lot of cash. So it's actually 4d6 times 10. All you need to do is roll 4 six-sided dice, give me all 4 numbers, and I will add it up and put in the figure. So while you're doing that, I am going to put in our description for our character. So that's done. And then we're going to start rolling for our class features, special abilities, things like that, special features, and, you know, a bit of flavor. 0, 0, there's no such thing. Ha, 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 Fred. Nice, nice. Thank you very much. You know why he's doing this. He knows that there's nobody else putting numbers in here. That's why he's put 0, 0, 0. His prompt is to get somebody else to actually roll the dice. That's what he's trying to do there. Okay, you've rolled a 5, a 1, a 1, and a 6. That comes to 5 and 1 is 6, and 6 is 12, 13. So 13, multiply that by 10, is 130. So we have 130 gold pieces to spend. All right, so let's go to the next task, and I will punch that. Oh, come on, little thingy. Okay, roll a d6 for things. Best thing I can suggest is let's just call it things. So just roll one 6-sided dice, and that will determine the things were going well until. So you were royalty, and then things went completely haywire. Now you'll find the information on that is on page 53, and it's down the side edge of the page. It's literally quite difficult to see because it's small and it's easy to miss, but it's there. Okay, that's where it is. That's the one we'll be selecting and plugging in. You've rolled a 6. Okay, so let's see what is 6. 2 young princesses. Princesses. Not quite. But we'll put it into here under class. Wretched Royalty. That's what we are. And then we have our first thing, which is 2 young princes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just type in 2 young princes. I'm not going to go into any more detail in that section because I will write out the rest of it above under the description, I think, probably the best way. And I'm going to get you to do our next task. So looking at our task sheet here that I've made up for you, we're going to roll 2 6-sided dice for 2 specialties. So hashtag roll 2d6 for specialty. Okay, we get 2 specialties, so you're going to roll 2 6-sided dice, and we'll select on the table and we'll put them in. Okay, this is why I'm leaving some space, because I know that the specialties will take up a bit of space. Okay, so take the glasses off because the text is so small. Here we go. So 2 young. 1 and 6. Man, Fred, you are fast today. I'm not even going to get a chance to put this in here. I will. I'm going to leave a space here so I know that I've got to do that later. Yeah, there we go. All right, so our first one, again on page 53, you'll find number 1 is the blade of your ancestors. Oh, God, not that one. All right, here we go. The blade of your ancestors. So how does the blade of your ancestors work? This magnificent and clearly magical talking sword is foppish, unreliable, and quietly despises you. It taunts your failures, and if it constantly disappointed, develops a 1 in 6 chance to accidentally attack you or your companions. That's right. Deals 1d6 plus 1 damage. Attack defense is DR10, so it makes it a bit easier to attack and defend. We will put it into here, and we'll put it as Ancestor's Blade. Ancestor's Blade. And we will put in here brackets 1 in 6. Well, do we need to do that? We can put that somewhere else, can't we? We can probably do that somewhere else. I'll just put the damage in here. It's probably easier. Damage. is a d6 plus 1. All right, so that's in the damage section. And then, yes, it's a blade that's cursed. It's a blade that's cursed. Now, you also rolled a 6. So 6 is Horn of the Shellwig Lords. So let's put in Horn of the Shellwig Lords as well, if I can actually get it to do that. Does it want to do that? And did it do it? I did. Okay. Okay. All right, here we go. Horn of the... I think that's right. Shelliswig. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. I've got no idea. Okay, so what does this thing do? I've used this before. Once per day, release a blare from this dented old trumpet and do a test on your presence. It's DR12. One creature you may make their next non-combat test at an automatic success. In other words, you give automatic success to somebody once per day. You just got to succeed on the presence check. So, pretty cool. So we'll put that in. No, it doesn't summon barbarians, but it would be nice if it did. So we'll come back to that. I'm going to keep moving you guys forward and getting your rolling dice, because that keeps you busy. We'll put the water skin in now, because you do get a water skin. Water skin. So that's one of our equipment things. Rolling for food. So let's do that. Hashtag roll a d4 for days of food. Days of food. So get that 4-sided dice out, give it a roll, tell me what you get, and that's how many days worth of food we'll put into there, while I am trying to catch up on all of this that I'm supposed to be typing up. Okay. Once a day. Let's go presence. Test. DR12. Oh, hello, Chris. Hello, how are you? Now, Chris Broskett. Chris, are you the person who recently joined my Patreon? I don't know that it was completely obvious to me, but I saw your surname and I was thinking, is that Chris Broskett? You'll let me know, because sometimes people's internet YouTube name is different to their Patreon name, or their Twitter name, or their Discord name. So I'm just asking. Just wanting to know. So you both got a 3, so we know that we've got 3 days of food. 3. Okay, food. Try it again, Fred. Okay, food. 3 days. It's not you. It must be somebody else. Okay, interesting. All right. Well, that's good to know. Thank you for letting me know. Okay. You wanted a 0. I know you want. You're all about the 0 today. I don't know what's going on. What's the issue with that? Is there a message that I'm missing? Okay. Hashtag. Roll a d6 for equipment. So we'll get you to roll another 6-sided dice for equipment. This is on page 19. For those of you who are wondering where you get this information from, most of the stuff I've been talking about is on page 53. Okay, but this is page... is it 19? Yeah, it is 19. See page 19. I didn't put that in. It is in there now. 4. So Chris got a 4. Thank you, Chris. So we go to page 19 and we look on the table that has the D6 one. Okay, there's a D6, then there's D12 and another D12. So look at the D6 one and he got a 4, we get a sack. We can hold 10 normal items, which is great because it means we don't have to be very strong, which we probably won't be. So we get a sack. Nice to have a sack. Okay, cool. And our next task. We'll be doing some more rolling. Hopefully you got those 12-sided dice ready to go. Roll. Roll. Come on. 2. D12 Come on. To D12 for gear. So we get 2 pieces of gear, but you have to roll a 12-sided dice this time. So give me both numbers for that, and we'll work that out. Okay, so while you're rolling dice, I'm going to drink some water, continue typing in stuff. We're getting there, slowly but surely. I wouldn't say we're doing it that slow. We're pretty quick. Okay. The ants are trying to carry the water away a lot right now. Oh, that's really nice. Really nice. Okay, so you've already rolled. Cool. So we will grab page 19 and determine our gear from your roll here. Okay, Chris got a 7 and he also got a 3. My phone is buzzing. It's telling me, so we're 17 minutes into the live stream, and my own phone, when I'm logged into YouTube, is telling me and notifying me that I've started a live stream. This is why you heard the buzzing noise. That's how fantastic YouTube is. Even on my own channel, I get notified 17 minutes later. You gotta love it. I mean, what do? You cry, you whine, you get angry, you send in feedback, you say something that you probably won't want to say too often if you can help it, or you just laugh. I don't know what to do. I think nowadays all I can do is laugh. Anyway, 7. We get a medicine chest. So that's cool. Medicine chest is really useful. So medicine chest. Now in the medicine chest, it's a present +4 uses. Stops bleeding, infection, and heals 1d6 hit points. Okay. So we get quite a few. So your presence plus a +4. That's a lot. How do I type this up without it making it tiny? I'll just go here, bracket, presence, +4 uses. Recover D6 HB. I think that'll work. I search every few hours to see if fair enough, I can understand that. 90 days after I posted shorts. Yeah, is that a great loss? I don't know that it is. Okay, so the next one, number 3. So on the second, there's 2 tables that say D12 on page 19. I've done the first table. The next one, look for number 3 because he rolled a 3. Chris has got a 3. So we've got small but vicious dog. Oh, good Lord. We'll put the small but vicious dog over here for now. Small dog. And it's vicious. And it's got a bite that does some damage. Vicious. So, we need to get some hit points into this thing. We might get you to roll some dice to determine exactly how many hit points the dog has. Hashtag roll a d6. It's a d6, yes. For dog hit points. Okay. So roll that 6-sided dice. That'll determine it. Our dog gets 1d6 plus 2 hit points. It has a bite, and it also does, which does d4 and only obeys you. So that's fine. So we'll determine that in a minute. I'll just do hit points. Hit points. You got a 6. You're going to call it. That's that. What are you going to call it? Chihuahua. 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 6 plus 2 is 8. So it's got 8 hit points. And bite is, where is it? It's a D4, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, D4. Okay, there is our small dog, for those of you. I don't think you need to carry the small dog. The dog will be fine, can walk. Anyway, that's that one done. Next. Now, we haven't got any unclean or sacred scrolls at this present time. But if we did, we use the D10, and you go to the tables for whichever one you're using, and it's on page 35. Okay. Now we're going to do selecting one of our weapons. Okay. So that's our first thing. So let's do some weapons. Probably doesn't obey well. Roll a D8 for starting weapon. Okay. That doesn't count your cursed blade, people. So roll that D8. Ah, dear. So you don't get the complete list if you go to page, what is it, 20, 23. I believe that is where you'll find the weapons section. You don't get all of the options. You don't get a whole D10, but you do get a few. Yep. You rolled a 5. So 5 would give us a warhammer. So we'll add a warhammer up the top there. You may be able to use this if you want to. Warhammer. The other blade's probably going to get very, very jealous and cause you problems by not using it. But hey, that's not my problem. That is always the person who's playing the character's problem. And that is a D6. D6 damage. Okay. We're doing well. Next, we're going to do some armor. So roll, roll now you're rolling in this case a D4 for armor. And if you're looking for the armor section, the weapons section was on page 20 to 23, but the armor is on page 24. Okay, and there are 4 types of armor, and depending on what you roll is the type of armor we get. Pretty simple, pretty easy. If we get heavy armor, unfortunately, with the Wretched Royalty, we have to re-roll. So if you roll up a 4, you don't get 4. You can only roll the 1, the 2, or the 3. If you roll a 4, you roll again. So we got a 2. 2 means we get light armor. So we go to the light armor section. Light armor. We'll just mark it as leather. There are a couple of different types you could have. You could have fur, padded, cloth, or leather. In any case, it does exactly the same thing. Mark the D2. So every time you take damage, you deduct a 2-sided dice worth of damage. So you roll a 4-sided dice, and a 1 and a 2 is a 1, and a 3 and a 4 would be a 2. Okay, it's pretty simple. There are no other extenuating things with this that we need to consider. It's not too complicated. That's all that does. That's leather armor. Okay, next on our tasks. We've done that. We've done that. We're going to start determining our abilities. Now, with our abilities on page, where is it? Page 53, we have to roll up all this stuff. I guess the only thing you're going to find that's slightly different, and I believe I may have made a mistake with this. Have I done a mistake with this? Toughness plus toughness, roll da-da-da. No, I don't think I have. Yes, that's correct. Yeah, that's right. So it's all good. So we're going to do our ability scores now. Hashtag. Roll 3 D6 for ability score. All right, so give me all 3 numbers. So roll 3 6-sided dice. Give me those numbers. I'll add them together, and I'll add them into the agility, presence, toughness, and strength sections. Okay. So while you're doing that, I will continue to finish up my notes here. This is the horn, 12. One creature Auto success. Right, we've got 6, 5, 2, 1, 5, 4. Keep rolling, people. We need a few more numbers. I will add these together. There are no adjustments for strength, agility, presence, or toughness. Okay, so just take the numbers, add them together, and plop it in, and then we'll turn it into a modifier. So 6, 5, and 2 comes to 11, 13. 13 is the score. Agility would be 1, 4, 5, or 1, 5, 4, which is 10. Okay, presence is going to come out as what? 6, 4, and 4. Okay, 6, 4, 4, that's 14. And the last one, do you have a last one, Chris, or am I taking Fred's number? You can if you want. You can. Oh, look, all ones. Ouch. Okay, fine, we'll do it. We have never had an all ones roll. So that's pretty brutal. Right, now let's turn this. Once we've rolled these up, we need to actually write the ability modifier into the character sheet, not the scores. I'm just doing the scores so you can see what it looks like. This is all on page 26, so if you're wondering where to go for that section on abilities, okay, and ability scores and their modifiers, it's on page. Okay, we're taking Chris's ones. We're taking Chris's ones. You've rolled up. Okay, so that's 3, 3, and 4, which is 6, 10. It's pretty basic. There we go. Cool. Right, so on page 26, you'll see it tells you what the ability score is, and beside it, the modifier. So for a 10, if we're starting at the bottom here, 9 to 12 is 0. So this is actually going to be just add 0, which is not much there. Okay, your numbers are very small in this game. Presence is a 14, so 13 to 14 is a +1. It's not like Dungeons and Dragons, people, not 5e. Okay, and again, 10 would just come out as a 0. 13, as we just said, is going to be 13 to 14 is a +1. Okay, that's all done. Next task on our list. Write in the ability modifiers. We've done this. Now we're going to determine our hit points by rolling a 6-sided dice. Again, just one of them here. So roll a d6 for hit points. Not hit points, but hit points. Hit points. Yeah, well, he would have had quite a lot, almost no hit points. A 3, if we had kept the 3, that's a -3 to whatever you get in terms of rolling. That would have been pretty brutal. Okay, 1. You've rolled a 1? Okay, so 1 it is. So 1 for our max. And we add our toughness, which is 0, so we have 1 hit point currently. 1 hit point. There we go. That was pretty easy. Not hard at all. Not great, but not hard. Okay, so in terms of how many items you can carry, I know this winds up being like a big, huge confusion for people, so let's deal with this now. This is what you can carry, and the information is on page 27. Okay, page 27, and it says your strength modifier. You take your strength modifier and you add 8 normal items. That's how many items you can carry. Now we have a strength here currently of +1. If we add 8, that means we can carry 9 items. But we currently have a sack. Because we have a sack, it specifies that a sack allows you to carry 10 normal sized items. So going through here, very simply, water skin is 1. This would be 2 for the food. Don't count the sack. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And this is going to be our mark off where we can't do any more. So it doesn't work like, I know people get confused. You're thinking, oh, my strength modifier +8, and then if I have a sack, I can carry an additional 10 items. No, it just changes the formula for what you can carry. It's still a big bonus, being able to carry 10 items and not worrying about your strength modifier is a good thing. Yep. Right. I cheated on the HP. Is not a roll. It's not a roll, Chris. Roll us a 20-sided. Roll us a 6-sided dice, please. Come on, Chris. You can do it. Roll us one 6-sided dice. Apparently, the one that Fred's put through here was not a real roll. You just wanted to put 1 point, hit point down, didn't you? I knew you did. I knew you did. No, I didn't. I didn't know. Maybe. Who knows? But Chris is going to save this character by rolling on the 6-sided dice and actually giving us a number. And I'll put that in a second. Ah, dear. All right, where else were we? Chris rolled a 4. There we go. There we go. So that means on our 6-sided dice, we've got a 4. We add a toughness, which is 0, which means it stays at 4. So we have 4 hit points. That's a little bit better. It is possible to play a character with 1 hit point and survive an entire adventure, people. I know you're thinking, oh, how would you possibly live? It's been done. Okay, it's been done. Okay, next. Thank you for doing that, Chris. Next, we're going to get you to roll for your omens. Hashtag roll a D2 for omens. Omens, you need to use omens eventually. Things you will need to re-roll. You can do a lot of things with omens, so you want to have them. So for a roll for the omens, since it's a D2, you roll a 4-sided dice. On a 1 or a 2, that's a 1. On a 3 or a 4, that's a 2. If you're rolling a 6-sided dice, you roll 1, 2, or 3, that's 1. If you roll 4, 5, or 6, that's 2. Okay? I had a level... You rolled a 1. Okay, so we get 1 omen, which is fine. Omens do renew. You do get more of them later. They do renew, which is nice. And then our next task here is we need to buy equipment. Now, the omen section, if you're wondering how many omens you get, it's on page 53. That's all in the class section. Next, buying equipment. On page 25, you will find on page 25, there is a bunch of information and things that you can purchase. So you got a lot of money. You can buy a lot of stuff. Hashtag. What do we buy? Let me call it out and you tell me what you want. You can have a backpack, which would be a bit pointless since you've got a sack is probably better. I know that sounds strange. There's a bear trap, blanket, caltrops, chalk, chewing tobacco, crowbar, crucifix, silver or wood, dried food if you want that, exquisite perfume, fire steel, grappling hook, hammer, heavy chain, iron nails, ladder, probably not very practical, lantern oil, lard, which is basically fat, large iron hook, lock picks, magnesium strip, manacles, mattress, meat cleaver. We've got a medicine box already, don't worry about that one. A metal file, mirror, muzzle, noose, oil lamp, poison, black or red, preserved corpse, if you want to carry a corpse around, I don't think you do, rope, small wagon, which means you can carry more stuff now. We're not carrying it, you can drag it around you. You need something to pull it with though. Tent, toolbox, torch, sack. We've got a sack, so don't worry about that one. Salt, scissors, scroll, sharp needle. We've got a water skin, so don't worry about that one. You can buy weapons, but I don't think we need any weapons. We've got 2 weapons already. There are battle axes, bow, club, crossbow, flail, femur, hand axe, knife, mace, short bow, short sword, sling, staff, sword, warhammer, whip, and the blah 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 thing that I can never pronounce. Arrows and bolts if you need them. Don't need to worry about that stuff. And then you can have beasts. You can have a dog that's trained or wild. You can have, particularly if you want to get eaten by your own dog, you could get a wild one. There's a horse. There's a mule for pulling that small wagon. And a rat if you want a tamed rat. So, let's have a look and see what you guys have put down here. Tobacco. Where did you guys get the... Did I have tobacco down here? You just want to have tobacco. 16 days worth of bacon. Oh, come on. That's all you can carry then. All right, tobacco. Tobacco. Fine. It's not on here. You can have the tobacco for free, okay? You found some grass, you picked it, and now you've got tobacco. Perfume. Yes, you can have the exquisite perfume. Exquisite. Where are you? Exquisite perfume. That is that one. Okay, what else have you got? Chalk. I believe chalk is definitely on the list, so you can have chalk. What else do you want? A crowbar. Fine, crowbar. You got a crowbar. What else do we need? I might just put a little X in here just to remind me that you're not actually carrying the dog. The dog can walk. The dog is walking. Mattress. You want to take a mattress? I think you might struggle to get the mattress. It's not a normal size item. You do realize this, right? A mattress, you're going to need a wagon to put the mattress on. Lard is bacon. Oh, you want lard. Okay. All right. Understood. I get it now, Fred. You lost me for a bit. Oil lamp and oil. You want the oil lamp. So let's do this. We've got 2 spaces left. We can do this. Where are we? Lantern oil. Got lantern oil and it should be an oil lamp. Right, you can now see in the dark. Well done. Was there anything else? You want a cart, pony. Oh, good Lord. Chewing tobacco. All right, chewing. Fine, I'll put chewing. You can have it for free. Chewing tobacco. Chewing. God, chewing tobacco. All right, you're going to buy a wagon as well. So there's a small wagon. You can have a small wagon. Where is the small wagon? A small wagon. Small wagon. And then you want a mule to pull all the stuff. Okay, all right. Lovely. You want a tent. Of course you want a tent. I should have guessed you wanted a tent. Tent. Now you can take the mattress. The mattress is now a doable thing. You can put it on the wagon. Mattress. There you go. You got a mattress. All right. That's all the space is filled up. I'm not putting any more in there. That's it. We don't get any powers. We've got no scrolls, so we don't get to do any of that sort of stuff, unfortunately. And I just need to fill in some details here and then calculate all of the stuff you've purchased, and we're mostly done. Now, there's a section that says miseries. I've said this many times before, but don't worry about the miseries, okay? Unless your game master is actually using miseries, or they will tell you at what misery point you're at, you just check them off when you need to. You'll notice that the color sheet fills in the black and white sheet. So if you need to have something that's a bit more printer friendly, there's a printer friendly version, or you can have the color one if you like, in the black and yellow. Okay. All right. So I need to plug in some information on this character, but that essentially is it. Like there's nothing else to it. There's a lot of random rolling, and as long as you know where the page numbers are, what you need to do in what order, even the order is not hugely important, I would say. It's not hugely important. Okay, so let's get this Ancestry Blade thing sorted. Is that going to be a space there, or is not? It is a space. Is there a space here? There is a space. Okay. All right, cool. All right, I was just a little bit unsure if I had put a space there. Blade of our Ancestors. Let's get this down. So it's basically 1 bracket and 6 chance. Darn it. 1 6 chance. Attack. Ally or you. I've had this before, and it doesn't happen that often, but it does it at exactly the wrong time. And then we do how much damage? It deals a d6 plus 1. We've already got that down, and we need to mark down the attack and defense stuff. Attack / defense. So it's a bit easier to hit with this weapon too. So normally you'd have to get a DR 12, okay, But this, in this case, it's only a DR10. So it's actually a lot easier to hit with this weapon. Well, that's the theory anyway. And damage is D6 plus 1. Okay, got it. And we will write in the 2 young princes thing. Oh no, we're going to do that above, aren't we? 2 young princes. So we've got special ability, drink of water. Feeling much better now. The dog can pull the wagon. Nah, it's a small, vicious dog. It's going to be on the wagon, probably. Or chasing the mule. Probably chasing the mule. Okay, so let's just see if I can read this tiny print. 2 young princes were kidnapped. Fine, kidnapped. West of something. West of Bergen Crypt. Is that Bergen? Something like Bergen. None of this is spelt in a way that makes any bloomin' sense, but anyway. Bergen Crypt. And disappeared. Into what? The black crevice of the eastern slopes. And that's it. That's all we get. The mystery is open. Crevice of the eastern slopes. So, and then our description for our class, breaking it down, this is what it basically says for our class. Bowed down only by the memories of your own lost glory. You could never submit to anyone else, not you, of noble blood. Noble blood. With lost glory. With too much pride. That's basically what we're dealing with here. Okay, right, so that is your character sheet, I'm pretty sure, filled out. We've got everything. We've got our attacks. Most of the time when you're attacking, it's going to be with your melee weapons, your warhammer or your blade. It's going to be strength modifier +1, 20-sided dice, and you're hitting a DR of 12. So that's the total number you need to have. So that's actually very easy to do. We'll go over more about the mechanics of MORK BORG some of the time, but this is the character sheet built. And we have a crazy name for our character as well. Now, in terms of the total value of all the stuff we've purchased, I think I can calculate that by just adding it all up, mostly. So, page 25 is where all the gear is. I think you're going to have plenty of money left over, by the way. I honestly don't think it's going to be a problem. But let's have a look here. So the water skin, the food we've already got. The sack we got already. The medicine chest we already get. The chewing tobacco, not charging you for that. The perfume came to, the exquisite perfume is 25 silver, so that's quite a bit. Your chalk is cheap as chips. It's only 1 silver. Your crowbar is not very expensive. That's 8 silver. Your lard, because everybody wants lard, 5 silver. Your lantern oil comes in at 5 silver, lantern oil. Your oil lamp is 10 silver. We've bought a small wagon at 25 silver. We have a mule, which cost us 10 silver. We've got a tent, and that's 12 silver. A mattress, which we had to pay 3 silver. It's probably not that great. It's probably full of dust mites and bed bugs and all sorts of horrible things are going to chew away at you. Epson printers, very cheap ink bottles of. What are you trying to help them figure out how to print this out? I see. I guess. All right. If you live in the same country as Fred Huber, he's just given you a suggestion around the Epson Eco Tank printer. Okay. Our PC is a Karen who got disposed by named Karen. What? All right. Let me add this all up so we know how much silver we have left. 25, 26, it's 18, that is 35, that is 30, that is 65, that is 36, 36, 44, add those together, 109. So we got 109 that we spent. So we've got 21 silver left. 21 silver left, people. We still got money. But I'm not putting anything more on the character sheet because there's no more space. It's really simple. So super easy. It's actually not hard to build a wretched royalty or a class for MORK BORG. And look, if anybody says, if any of the patrons say, look, send me the breakdown on how to build the character with the page numbers, I'm probably more likely to do that. The idea is just to help walk you through that process step by step. It can be confusing, which is why I have this little cheat sheet. I've done this for all of the classes. I keep doing this every single time so that I know how to do it. So we've done this one already. Gutterborn Scum we've done already. Your basic character, Fang Deserter, we've done already, and your basic character when you don't pick a class. So we're getting closer and closer to the very end of this, but this is our character sheet done and ready to go. Okay. So let's finish up this this poll. You're in New York, huh? Okay, USA. I am in Helensville, New Zealand, which probably means nothing to you. I know where New York is, but I don't expect anybody to know where Helensville. I'm assuming most people know where New Zealand is, but yeah, probably not Helensville. It's the middle of nowhere. It's like a ghost town, really. It's in this poll. 4 votes. You can see character creation for MORK BORG is super popular. Have you made a wretched royalty character for MORK BORG? No, 75%. Not surprised. Yes, 25%. So there's a small number of you, maybe 2 of you here. Is it 2? Or maybe it's more like 1. Maybe 1 person here has made a character. In the middle of nowhere, Texas. Oh, Texas is huge. You could get lost there very easily. Very easily. Anyway, tomorrow, we're going to go back and we'll do character creation next week. Even though we're heading into the holiday period, I will continue doing the character building. It's a Wednesday, so I expect most people will be recovering from feeding themselves too much over Christmas Day and Boxing Day. So for those of you who are still around, you can come and join me for that. We'll do another class next week. And for those of you who are not interested, that's all cool. Tomorrow, what am I doing tomorrow? Tomorrow I will be covering the free supplements for Star Wars 5e. For those of you who love science fiction, but particularly love Star Wars, and would like to play a role-playing game in that universe, but you cannot convince your players to play in anything other than D&D 5e, do not fret, because it's exactly the same game system. And there are 4 books. There's no way I can cover all of them, but I'm going to do my best to break it down, give you the information so you can find what you need and you decide yourself. Okay, that is what I'll cover tomorrow. I would normally be covering rules for Shadowdark. I simply do not have the brain power to pull that off this week or probably even next week. It'll have to go into 2024. We'll pick that up in 2024. I'll continue covering rules for Shadowdark in 2024. So for now, I'm just going to cover that one instead. So Star Wars 5e, it's been on my cards for a while. We should have done it ages ago, and I've put it off long enough. So time to have that. It's tomorrow. So huge thank you to everybody who's been in the chat, whether you've been watching or listening, responding to the poll, providing feedback. Those of you who've been actually helping with the character creation process in the chat, thank you so much. I want to say a huge thank you to Prepare, Cook and Survive. Thank you, Stuart, for sending me the book, MORK BORG. It will give me many, many weeks of entertainment as I try to explain it to other people, given that I've only played the game a couple of times. That'll be an interesting process. I'm hopefully going to get better at doing this. In any case, I want to thank those people who have been responding in the chat. That's Fred Huber, Chris Broskett, and I believe that was it for today. We just had the two of you providing feedback, which is fine. I didn't expect MORK BORG to have a huge calling. Oh, and Prepare, Cook and Survive was here. So thank you for sharing your feedback in the chat and helping with the character building. I do appreciate it. It's been fun. I've been having a lot of fun doing this, as entertaining as anything. Anyway, so wherever you are in the world, whether it be the morning, the afternoon, the night, or the wee early morning, please look after yourself, your family, and your friends. Be nice to your neighbours. It is Christmas, almost there. Be nice to your neighbours. And hey, till next time, keep rolling those 20s.